Of videos, and this is completely unscripted, but this is something very important for all of St. Pete, all Pinelas County, probably all of Florida, because there are other areas that were impacted by the storm. This is seriously something I need you guys to watch and definitely share. I don't know if you can share a Facebook Live thing, but this is important information about what's going on from the storm and how FEMA's gotten involved. So, as you know, I own a fleet of dump trailers and I rent them out to people. Well, they've been insanely busy, and the line at the landfill has been 2 to 3 hours long. Well, yesterday we were informed that the landfill was no longer going to be accepting storm debris. We all said, what the hell? What kind of sense does that make? So they said that FEMA was going to be setting up free dump zones, and that we would go and empty our loads there. So I said, okay, that's great. You know, we won't have to charge the client a dump fee. We can hopefully have a higher turnover rate and help more people. All's good. They said that information was supposed to be released last night on some of the city's websites. Well, I went to St. Pete's website, I went to the Pinelas County website, I went to the dumps website, nothing was there. I went to FEMA's website, nothing was there. And this morning I said, okay, well, maybe they didn't get it set up in time and we need to still go to the landfill. So 4:30, got up, hooked up some trailers, headed to the landfill. They had a sheriff there turning people away and saying, you cannot dump here. And I said, well, where am I supposed to go? And I said, you know, there's no information online. I said, go online, find the FEMA website. I said, you pull out your phone, you show me where it is. And they started going through it, and then they said, you got to get out of here. You're obstructing traffic, and you can either leave right now or you can leave in the back of the sheriff car. So I pulled away. I went to what's called a transfer station. It's much more expensive. It's a fee that has to be passed on to the client. Otherwise, I would literally be operating at a loss. And they said that FEMA has come in and shut down the landfill, shut down the Waste Management's transfer station, and we were not allowed to dump there, and we had to go to these FEMA sites. I said, well, where are these FEMA sites? No one can tell us. And they still didn't have the information. So I decided to call one of the biggest companies in the area, definitely a competitor, and I said, look, I'm a smaller business, and I'm curious, do you guys know where we're supposed to empty the storm debris? And I apparently got on the phone with someone pretty high up in the company. I don't know if it was the owner or the owner's son, but he was really well informed, pretty pissed off about the situation. He started to laugh and said, yeah, there's 3 dump sites set up by FEMA, and they're for resident use only. You cannot go in there with a commercial grade truck. You cannot go in there with a commercial grade trailer. You can't go in there with anything with any lettering on it. And they had asked them, well, what do you suggest that we do with the thousands of bins that we have rented out, full of trash, ready to go to the landfill right now? And they said, dump it back in the people's driveways. FEMA will get around to cleaning up on our own. So he said, what do you mean FEMA's going to clean up? They said, over the course of the next year, FEMA will be picking up all the trash. So in the meantime, over the course of the next year, and this is from personal eyewitness thing, as I was dropping off dump trailers, within 2 days, there's mold inside people's homes. That mold doesn't stop growing just because you take the trash out and you put it at the road. It's going to be growing at the road. Today, when I was driving through Shore Acres down Overlook Drive and Shore Acres Boulevard, there are dozens of rats hopping from pile to pile. It is an absolute breeding ground. And they want all that stuff to sit there for a year while they clean up. We got all the stuff picked up. It's in bins. We're ready to go to the landfill, and they're refusing us at the landfill, and they're suggesting that we take this stuff back and dump it in your yards. We need you to call the city, call the mayor, call FEMA, call the Pinelas County landfill, call Governor DeSantis. Speak up. Otherwise, we're going to be staring at this trash for over a year. That's insane. This isn't about making money. I dropped my prices to help people out. I just want to get St. Pete cleaned back up, and they want it to stay a shit show. I mean, I really hate to come on here and be acting like conspiracy theorists, but I remember when Katrina happened and people were talking about concentration camps being set up in New Orleans by FEMA. I thought that was crazy. Then we heard about Hawaii getting burned, and because of X and social media, people were actually able to hop on and show what was going on. We saw FEMA step in and do jack crap. I don't know, but we all need to stand up and voice ourselves to get St. Pete cleaned up. Otherwise, we're going to be dealing with a mess for a really long time. So share this video, share the knowledge, call your local officials, call the governor. Pinelas County is a shit show. We need to get it cleaned up. I don't know how to end this thing now, so it might take me a minute, but that's all I got to say. Guys, I am not a big
just a little bit ago that potentially in Pinelas County the landfill had to be essentially cut open so that state crews could get in there and continue dumping debris. Do you know anything about that? Or have you heard anything about that?
Yeah, so that's accurate. So the executive order said 24/7. I know Kevin was in contact with the county folks. There was a bunch of state assets that had a lot of debris to dump off, and it was locked, and there was no one there manning it. And so they basically opened it, and they did the debris, and that's totally appropriate to be able to do that. We need 24/7, right? I mean, this is something I think the local folks have worked hard on the debris. I don't think it's that, it's a lot of debris, right? And so they worked hard on it, but we've got to redouble the efforts there, and we're supplementing those efforts in ways that have never been done in the history of the state of Florida. And so those debris missions need to be round the clock. You are going to save, you could potentially save lives because this debris can fly and hit people, but certainly you are going to have less damage if you get that debris off. So yes, there was nobody manning that site, and basically our folks in the state just opened it. And they're utilizing it, and everything's going to be open.